camera be doing whatever it want to do sometimes. But it's okay, because I do whatever I want to do sometimes. Alright, y'all. What's up? How y'all feeling today? Guys, it's Lanexa here. And today I am here with a video that was requested. And yeah, at first I was kind of like, yeah, I'll do it. Then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this shit. But then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, because a lot of y'all support me and a lot of y'all know that I do a lot of things, but y'all really don't have much to really, you know, really get to know me. So what I did was I created a poll on Instagram and on a couple of my pages, and I asked people to ask me some questions, you know what I'm saying? Questions that they had about me or what they wanted to know. And I ended up with 26 questions, and so I was like, wow, okay. So I copied all the questions and I figured I'd answer some of them. First I was like, maybe I'll be like 50 Cent and be like 21 questions. But then I was like, that would make the video very long. So what I will probably do is just be mindful of time, even though it really don't exist. But I know that people's attention span is shorter than a mother-loving rat. Mouse. I'll give y'all a mouse so y'all don't feel like rats. Shorter than a mouse and a goldfish. So try not to make things too long, because I know how people get. So I may do 10 questions. I may do 11. I may do 12. We're gonna see how this video goes, but hopefully this will be good for you all. Hopefully y'all will learn something about me and you know, get a little bit more intentionally nosy. Like, well, y'all can be nosy. I'm giving y'all permission to be nosy this time, because this is a little bit more intentional. So yeah, I'm gonna just pick some of these questions and go from there. Question number 1, where are you from? I am from Richmond, Virginia. I am from the south side of Richmond, Virginia. But I actually kind of lived a little bit of everywhere, because when I originally was born in Highland Park, grew up around Highland Park, then moved to Chesterfield, then moved to Chester, then moved to Richmond, then moved to Chesterfield, then went back to Richmond. So I was kind of all over, but for a majority of my, like, you know, like elementary to middle school, it was all on the south side. So I guess you could say I'm from the south side, but you know, yeah, that's where I'm from. Question number 2 says, how did you get into your spiritual journey? Okay. So for me, my spiritual journey came around 2011. I went to an alternative high school, like a good alternative, not the alternative for the people who get put out of school. No offense to you if you went to an alternative school like that, but that's just not the one I went to. So I went to alternative school. It was called Open High School here in Richmond, Virginia, and it was a very unique school because our classes were very different. So I think we had a Thursday were like our elective classes, and I had this one class, like a conspiracy class, and you know, I think around 2011 the movie 2012 came out or something like that. But either way, everybody was talking about all that stuff, and my teacher at the time, his name was Chad, so awesome, but he was talking about something with like the Illuminati or something like that, and I just remember legit being like terrified, because I was just like, but why? You know, and he just was going and going, and something about my brain, I don't know if I was PMSing at the time or what, but something about my brain just was like, no. And so I got really, really sad and really, really depressed and just started crying. So he let me leave his class and go sit in the lady Laura's class, and I think she was doing something literature, very calm. Oh no, they were watching a movie or something. So I just sat there and I just cried my little heart out. So then from there, I go to the Boys and Girls Club when I leave school or whatever. and I'm sitting here talking to one of the guys that was volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club at the time. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with the world. Like, why is this like this? And why is this like that? What am I supposed to do? Who is this? What is this? What? I'm so depressed. Like, how can this really be the end of the world? Like, how can you prove, like, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, like, bugging out, bro. So he gave me like 3 big CDs, like 3 CD discs, like, of just information, bruh. He was like, here, take this and call me once you finish the first 2. I was like, okay. Not knowing what I'm getting myself into. I go home that evening, probably around 5 o'clock, pop these CDs in, and I'm just sitting there watching the joint show. And I'm sitting there terrified watching it like this. Like, but still watching it. You know how you get scared and you can't close your eyes, you close your ears? Yeah, it was like that. So I'm like terrified. I'm like, yo, what in the fudge is this? But I was so intrigued because I was starting to see things and I was starting to get answers and things were starting to, you know, I'm like, I ended up watching that joint till like 2 o'clock in the morning. Still had school the next day. And legit was just up, like I was just wired. Like I was terrified, but I wanted to learn more. And what I realized he did in that moment was he took my attention off the fact of being depressed, which helped me realize that depression is, like, for me, like a fear of just like not knowing things, you know what I'm saying? That causes depression for me. But yeah, man, I got back to the Boys and Girls Club like 2 days later, and I called. I'm like, yo, like, just ready to talk about everything I just watched. And I'm like, yo, da-da-da-da-da-da. But I realized I wasn't in a depressed state no more because my mind was starting to move and be active. So I would say 2011 was that year for me. And I just, for real, just took that time to just like question everything. Nothing was truth anymore, you know what I'm saying? I just was open to learning, and I've just stayed in that state of constantly being open to learning, because when you stay in that state, you don't find yourself feeling like you know it all and getting arrogant. So yeah. Number 3, which is a pretty cool next question. It says, how did you get into herbalism and holistic healing? So that was maybe, let's see, maybe 14 or 15, maybe. I remember, like, probably around the time when I first got my first moon cycle. It was cool, but you know, the second and third one was a little crazy. And I just remember, like, the doctors pushing the crap out of birth control, pushing the crap out of all of this stuff to not, like, change your period, to regulate your period, blah 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 blah. So of course, you know, my mama doing the best she could at the time. She puts me on birth control, you know, puts me on the little pill and stuff. And so I'm taking that, and they're like, well, just try this should help your periods and stuff like that. I started to realize that different colors, right, regulate your periods. So I started, like, manipulating myself. And over time, like, I just started realizing, like, I started developing, like, BV, yeast infections, things like that. And I wasn't really doing anything like that the doctors were like, oh, well, if you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this, then yeah, maybe you are gonna have BV or you're gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I'm not having sex. I'm not, like, I mean, I was in the band, but I won't, like, shit won't stuck in my butt, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not understanding. So after years and years of going through that cycle of just constantly having my body in balance, I just got to a point where I think I had, like, one really major moment, and I called the doctor on the little 24-hour hotline. I'm like, my body hurt, I don't know what's going on. And we legit was both on the same website at the same time, bro. And I know I was on, like, Google number 21. Like, I had really been doing a lot of research to figure out what I was feeling, because everything else was so generic, and I'm like, it's not this, you know. And we were both on the same site, and she was reading the exact symptoms that the site word to word, and I was like, this is a joke. Not saying that Western medicine is a joke, but this moment felt like a joke. So I just hung up. And after that, I decided to take my health in my own hands, because even though she was trying to do her best, like, she did nothing for me. So from that moment, I pretty much just started, I probably took like one little last dose of that goddamn monoconazole, whatever the crap that shit was called. And I legit started fasting. I started cutting meats out. I started like laying off on a lot of sugary stuff. So I stopped drinking teas, like sugary teas and stuff like that, and just really started giving my body time to rest. But before I jumped into that, I started educating myself on what it was I was experiencing, you know, started learning about colonics and stuff like that, other ways to help my body. So that was my entry point into my herbalism and holistic healing, and it's been very rewarding for me. I can honestly say that, like, I have truly healed myself in ways that I can only look forward to telling y'all about in the future. But yeah, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, what your body can't do, because your body is so powerful. It can literally heal itself if you give it the space, the time, and the grace and forgiveness, and actually take the time to do the shadow work, the real work that a lot of these ailments and diseases are rooted in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Number 4 says, what are some of your everyday practices and how do they work for you? Some of my everyday practices are, I wake up, I'm gonna give y'all the good and the bad, because I'm not even gonna fake like it's all good. Some days, on my lower vibrational days, I roll over and I grab my cell phone and I go to Instagram or something, and I look at my DMs to see who the heck last had something to say. And that's not good. So I have started to put my phone away from my bed and in a whole different room, so that I have to take a second and just breathe, and I keep my water by the bed. So that's one of my negatives. But my positive practices every day would be, like, I wake up every rising and I drink some water. I have a gallon by my bed, and I try to drink at least 8 ounces when I first wake up. So I just chug, then I go to the bathroom. And then I drink some tea. I always start my rising with some tea, because warm things are really good for your body. Whether it be like a burdock root tea, a dandelion root tea, which is good for your liver and cleansing your blood. I also like to use lime water, like warm limes and stuff, because that'll start your digestive enzymes and, you know, clean you out too. So I'll start my day off with some tea. I usually try to get a little active in the rising, so I'll dance, or either I'll work out, or I'll stretch a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like 15 to 30 minutes of stretching. I'll use the Skimble app and go do something over there. Yeah, so those are some of my everyday practices. When I wake up, I try to make sure that I'm not eating anything solid before like 11 o'clock, so that I can give my body time to break fast, you know. So those are some of my everyday practices. I've been trying to get more into the space of being more creative. So every other day or so, I try to make sure that I'm doing something creative. Which lately I have been doing a lot of digital drawings, which have been very fun, because I'm not a good drawer, but it's cool. You see, like, that's my little reference one. That one is kind of bad. I'll show y'all another one I did. So I'll be doing little stuff like this just to learn how to tap into other sides of myself and give myself an opportunity to just be, you know what I'm saying, without any judgment. So I do that sometimes. Almost every other day or so, I'm doing something creative or dancing or moving my body. So yeah. Number 5, how would you rate your childhood? If we're rating it, I guess, like what, like on a scale of 1 to 10, I guess like a 7.5, 8, 9. I don't know. Like, it was a good, I had a good childhood. Like, my mom worked a lot. It wasn't a bad childhood, even with like the absence of like the paternal figure, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bad life. Like, I had all the baby fat outfits I wanted, and I was cute, and my hair was done, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had a pretty good childhood. I had a lot of people pour love into me at a very young age, whether it was like daycare days, or not. Like, people have always poured so much into me, so it's made it really dope. Number 6, does your name have a meaning? Yo, I don't think so, and I don't know, but I like to say that because I feel like maybe I was created again, reincarnated to create a meaning to it, you know what I'm saying? I love to joke and be like, you only meet one Lanexa in your lifetime because you haven't met one. Everybody be like, yes I did, I met a Alexa, Alexis, Alana, all them other things, but you did not meet another Lanexa. So I think I was made to create the name. I did see on like Google the other day, somebody added a site or something where they said it was like Bankabish or something like that, but it meant pretty soul or pretty woman or something like that. But I mean, look at me. Of course it would be, right? You know, I'm just saying. But nah. So yeah, I don't know what the name means. The closest I got was like a tribe called Lanexa, but that was when I was working at the Marriott. A random lady just popped up, and that was all I heard. Number 7. 3 things you love about yourself, and 3 things that need improving. 3 things I love about myself. I love my ability to be authentic. I may not always come correct in the sense that it may not always be what people want to hear or see, or it may not always look how people expect, but it's genuine. It's an authentic self, you know, and I own every bit of that. So I think that one thing I love about myself is my authenticity. Another thing I love is my creativity and my ability to bounce back from tough situations. I think they go together because my creativity keeps me able to not get stuck in my mind too often. And the 3rd thing I would say I love is my nurturingness, or however you say that in the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'm very nurturing, very loving, very big mother energy. So I love that about me, my ability to love and to stay soft even when the world be trying to make me hard. 3 things that need improving. I can sometimes be a little pessimistic, not even pessimistic, but like sometimes I have moments where I don't see the bigger, that I don't see that there's bigger. Like I get really trapped into like a closed-minded state, and it causes me to miss opportunities and miss people, and so sometimes even cause other people, influence them to miss things because I'm like, but why? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just why not, you know? So I would say that. Something else that needs improving, the way that I be like disassociating with stuff. I think it's a good thing because you got to have your ego to protect you with certain things, and I think like disassociation from things sometimes can be good because some things just truly don't deserve your energy, but there's some things that I truly be passionate about and really care about, and I just cut it off because I just don't like the way it makes me feel or don't want to deal with it or whatever the case may be. So the way that I disassociate with things sometimes can be improved. And overall, I will always say communication, because we can always improve on communication. We can always do better on how we communicate with the world, with ourselves, with people, with spirit. So yeah, I'm gonna just do one more. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do 2 more, and then I'm gonna stop it at that because we almost at 20 minutes. And yeah, number 8. Do you prefer people to be blunt or tempered with their words? I guess both. Like a good balance, because I'm very blunt, but I also know like when and where to like temper myself, because sometimes that harshness ain't always needed, and it ain't always what you say but how you say it. So I think something in between the middle. Number 9, how many tattoos do you have, and what was your first tattoo? I have, I think like 7 tattoos. My first tattoo was on my calf on my right leg. It was One Mind, One Heart, One Love, because I was really rocking with Trey Songz at the time and what he was speaking about in a lot of his mixtapes, and that song really stuck to me and really struck a heart nerve and stuff. So that was my first tattoo, especially then. I really like Bob Marley, so it gave me a good middle piece there. My mom used to always play Bob Marley, and so there was a good balance in between one love and one love. So yeah. Well, you guys, that's the first however many that was. I can't even remember just that quick. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. If y'all want more, please leave a comment. Definitely like, let me know so that I will keep doing it. If not, then I will find more content to give y'all, because I know y'all want something, but trying to figure out what y'all want. Let me know. But yeah, anywho, I'll see y'all soon. Until next time, stay beautiful. And yeah, be sure to follow me on social media at Lanexa Denise, or the Nexperience, Nexx experience, or Lanexa the Barber Goddess, or whatever you want to follow me on. But yeah, you type in Lanexa and you'll get everything. So all right, y'all, until next time, peace.